Hi everyone, this is my video response to the question, do you think it is important to match certain client characteristics with specific counselor traits? If so, what traits might be important to consider when matching and what evidence exists to support your beliefs? Now, I believe that this question has both a yes and a no answer. First off, yes. And why? Because, for example, take into an account a school setting, a counselor in a school setting. It would be more feasible for it to be a school guidance counselor versus a marriage counselor, right? Because a guidance counselor would better serve the issues of the students. They would have more training, the guidance counselor, in that area, and more than likely they would be more abreast of the most current empirically supported treatments for the students, that specific population. And that same principle would apply, I believe, to an addictions or substance abuse counselor, or again, even a marriage counselor. In these cases, yes, I do believe that the counselor should have specific traits that should be considered when matching the client. As Erfurt said on page 530, he said, a good match would reduce the likelihood of premature dropout and increase initial gains made in counseling. So that's where it would be important that the traits, they match. However, I said I believe that there's a no answer to this question too, because Erfurt also said on page 531, even though clients tend to prefer professional counselors that they perceive to be similar to themselves, these similarities have little effect on eventual counseling effectiveness. And, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I believe that a good counselor should have skills that carry across the board. And they should have certain traits that transcend technique theories, like being trustworthy, competent, skillful, empathetic, patient, and being able to master the whole therapeutic alliance thing, where they have been able to establish an effective bond with the client. It seems to me that based on the outcome research data, that counselors that lack those skills, those same ones that I mentioned, empathy, patience, and the others that I mentioned, that no matter what they may have in common or how well they may be able to identify with the patient or the client, they may not have a favorable outcome. So again, Erfurt said on page 531, he was quoting Sexton, he said that while it is generally accepted that there is no single counselor or client characteristic, no single theory or no technique, he says, let me say that again. He said, it is generally accepted that there is no single counselor or client characteristic, no single theory or no technique that can account for the success of good counseling. So the long and short of it is that if a counselor is skillful, I believe, in creating that therapeutic alliance, that bond where the client can feel comfortable and trust the counselor, even when uncomfortable emotions surface and when the counselor attempts to shed light the dark areas of the patient's, life in dark places, but the outcome can be favorable and the treatment can be effective, and no matter what the matching traits are. So that's my answer to the question, and I look forward to the responses. Good night.